What's going on, y'all? I'm Josh. Welcome to Birdie Hunter Golf, where we bring you quality golf and disc golf content for the average Joe. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that's marry two of my passions, which is golf and disc golf. And it's not something that I've really seen anybody do on YouTube, so I'm trying to kind of fill that space and hopefully bring y'all some good quality content that you can appreciate. So the video we're doing today is things to know before your first disc golf tournament. First thing we need to understand is what type of tournament we're playing. There are several different tiers, starting with, at the very top, the Pro Tour. That is not something that is available for us to play. We can't just show up and play in a Pro Tour tournament, obviously. You can't just show up and play in an NBA game, right? So that's not on the table. We don't have to worry about that for now. Next tier down is A tier. That is the biggest tournament you can play. That is the ultimate tournament experience. But it is a lot to bite off as your first tournament experience. Not gonna lie, you're probably gonna be a little bit lost. But the next tier down from that is what I think is a great option for most people that are looking to get into playing disc golf tournaments, and that is B tier tournaments. B tier is more than likely gonna be 2 days, either 2 or 3 rounds, and you're looking at anywhere from like 80 players to a couple hundred players. And you get the full tournament experience. You get all the different vendors at Tournament Central, the main hub for the tournament. There's going to be several different vendors and manufacturers and disc golf shops set up, more than likely. And you're going to have either a tee time or what's called a shotgun start, which means everybody has the same tee time, and then they sound a horn, everybody goes. So that's a great option for most people. It's a little bit easier to get into a B tier tournament. There's not as many moving parts to it, but you get the full tournament experience. Next level down is the lowest tier that you can play, and that is C tier. C tier tournaments are way more laid back, way more relaxed, they're more small time, there's going to be less players. It's more than likely going to be just 1 day, 1 round, might be 1 day, 2 rounds, but no matter what, you don't get the full tournament experience with a C tier. So it just kind of depends on where you're at. If you're really apprehensive or nervous about playing in a disc golf tournament, maybe C tier is the way for you to go. But if you're thinking, you know what, I want the full tournament experience, then find the closest B tier to you and sign up in that way. Additionally, with C tiers, that is the only tier of tournament that you can play without signing up through the PDGA. But that is something you'll have to do for either A tier or B tier tournaments. Thing number 2 that you need to understand is what division to sign up in. In any given tournament, there's going to be a ton of different divisions, and that can be very overwhelming. Even if you go on the PDGA website and you read the suggested divisions for your particular skill level, from the top down, it goes male side, female side, right? So it'll go MPO, MA1, MA2, MA3, MA4 at some divisions. And then you'll have all your age protected divisions. On the female side, you'll have FPO, and that stands for open or professional. Then FA1, FA2, FA3, FA4, and then all your age protected. MPO and FPO are the professional divisions. I promise you, that's not where you belong. I don't care how good you think you are. Not where you belong, not where I belong. Not on your first go around, not on your first turn, right? So just take that and forget about it until later. Then you have MA1, FA1, Advanced. Advanced is still not where you belong. Advanced is full of, whether on the male side or the female side, full of people that could easily play in the professional division, in the open division. So still not where we want to be for our first tournament. Next you have MA2, FA2, that's intermediate. Now we're getting warmer, basically. But still, you have a lot of players that are very good and have been playing for a long time. You don't have to be anywhere close to being a professional to play an MA2 or FA2, but it's still probably better than you're going to be at your first tournament. So where I like to suggest that everybody sign up in, usually, is MA3 and FA3 or Rec Division, one and the same. There is a 4th division under that, which is MA4, FA4, and that's Novice. If that's available to you at your tournament, feel free to sign up there, depending on how long you have been playing. If you've been playing for a while, you probably don't need to sign up at Novice. This is mostly for people who, this is the first time they've almost picked up a disc. Their buddy convinced them to come out with them, and they're like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. that guy needs to sign up in novice, because even in rec division, there's still people that have been playing for a long time there. So, take it for what it is, but that's just my opinion on where you should be signing up. More than likely, MA3, FA3, rec division, sign up there. You really can't go wrong. Third thing to know or understand is understanding that we're not pros and we're not here to go pro. Even if that is our ultimate goal, let's say we started watching on YouTube and we're like, man, I think I have what it takes. Maybe you do. That's awesome. But this first tournament doesn't matter. Okay, I see this from some people. They'll say, I want to start playing tournaments, but man, I'm nervous because this is the big time, right? This is the big show. It's really not. It's really not. This is not the pro tour, right? This is still just something you do on the weekend. A lot of people have that misconception that if you play in tournaments, that means you are like dedicating your life to this and you're going pro. And that's just not the case. Even if you were to go pro, any of the people that are now making thousands and thousands of dollars playing, still they're not going to be able to tell you what they did in their first tournaments, or they'll tell you that they did horrible in their first tournaments, and ultimately it doesn't matter. So know that, take some weight off your shoulders. It's not that big of a deal. That's just the third thing to understand, is that it's okay. Thing number 4 is bring hydration. There will probably be bottles of water scattered around the course, or at least at Tournament Central, but sometimes there's not. And honestly, sometimes water is not enough. I love Body Armor, not a sponsor, and Liquid IV, also not a sponsor. But these things, man, they will literally save your life out on the course, because especially if you're playing in the summertime, here, living in Texas, boy, it gets hot in the summertime. You're playing rounds in the middle of the dead heat, like 105 degrees, 110. It's not fun, right? Especially out here in West Texas where I live, not a ton of shade. Bring hydration, okay? Bring an umbrella, bring something that's gonna help you get through the heat. Thing number 4B, kind of to piggyback off of the hydration one, is bring snacks. I already finished my bag, unfortunately, that I had in my disc golf bag there. But Big Country Beef Jerky is a great example of that. Best beef jerky in the game. Use code BirdieHunter at checkout for a discount. But bring whatever kind of snacks you like to eat, Chex Mix, protein bar, whatever it is. If there's a backup on the course, and that's very likely, you're gonna wish you had a snack on. Thing number 5 is bring a towel, and if it's winter time, bring some hand warmers. Okay, these are the hot hands. I think you can find them at pretty much any store, like Academy, Dick's, any sporting goods store will have these. Even like Home Depot and Lowe's will have these. And you're gonna need this in the cold, and you're gonna need this if it's muddy or raining or anything like that. If it's raining, bring multiple towels. I promise you, you're gonna need them. Thing number 6 to understand or know for your first disc golf tournament is you need to understand the official rules of disc golf. Now, we all might think we know how to play disc golf, and we probably do, but when you're talking about a PDGA sanctioned event, we have to understand that there are specific rules that we need to abide by. And if we don't even know what that is, then we're going to have a hard time doing that. We're going to get called for a dumb penalty that should never have been a penalty to begin with if we had just read over the rules. So go to pdga.com and read the official rules of disc golf. I think it's as easy as just scrolling all the way down, and I think there's a tab there at the very bottom, a little link to it. But it's easy to find, I promise, and just read through that. I know it's boring, it's tedious, but it'll save you strokes in the long run, because people will call you for something that you shouldn't have been called for, right? It was an honest mistake. So even though people are pretty lenient most of the time, we don't want to put them in that situation of having to call you for something, right? So let's understand the rules of disc golf, basic rules, and everybody will probably be pretty cool about it anyway. The last and final tip today, that's tip number 7. It's going to sound very cliche, but just have fun. If you take nothing else from this video, please remember that. And I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds like, yeah, whatever. I'm a competitive person. If I'm not showing up to win, I might as well not show up. I get that. That's how I am too. But please understand that, like we talked about before, this being your first tournament, you're probably playing in recreational division or below. It ultimately does not matter. Show up, meet some cool people, buy some cool discs, throw some frisbees, have fun, especially if it's a C tier or a B tier. It's not that serious, right? It does affect your entire outlook and mentality that you're going to show up on the course with. So please, if you take nothing else, have fun, use this as a learning experience. And man, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're signing up for tournaments. And if everybody comes out here with the mentality of having fun, then you'll probably enjoy yourself and you'll sign up for more tournaments. So let's do that. And like I said, we're happy to have you in our disc golf community now. Thanks for tuning in to this video. Thanks for sticking it through to the end. If this gets good engagement or good feedback, I'll put out a part 2 of things that I wish I had known before I played my first disc golf tournament. But for now, thanks for tuning in. Again, check out Big Country Beef Jerky, best jerky in the game. Birdie Hunter at checkout will get you a discount. Thanks, y'all.